All right, y'all, so we're going to jump back real quick into the interrogation, right? The initial interrogation where they took me to the St. Louis Park Police Department, put me in a holding cell, and the IRS and the airport DEA came to talk to me. Now, the person that executed the raid was Terry Reavers, who was the Northwest Drug Task Force supervisor at the time, right? But this wasn't really a Northwest Drug Task Force case necessarily. It was airport DEA that wanted this guy's head for the $232,000, right? So Bob Fisher and Pat Henry show up. Bob Fisher is airport DEA. Pat Henry is an IRS agent. They show up, and I'm like, I don't got shit to say to you. I don't want to talk about nothing. Like, bring me downtown, arrest me, right? So I tell them this multiple times, and they're like, well, don't you want to know what you're facing? And I'm like, okay, yeah, I do. So we sit down, and they're like, you're facing 5 years for guns and drugs, which that was a relief to me, right? So little do they know, now I'm totally comfortable. When I was thinking, I might be doing 20 years, that was a little bit different of a feeling, but I was still just going to do it. I don't know what it was going to consist of. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but I was just going to do it. So when they came and told me 5 years, you just took everything off the table, basically. 5 years wasn't a threat to me. So they're like, look, Nick, we'll give you immunity. I never really knew what immunity was, you guys. Immunity means you can't be held accountable for anything. Immunity means they're giving you a 100% pass on whatever you say or whatever you've done, right? So they're like, yeah, Nick, we'll give you immunity and all this and all that. And I'm like, I don't got shit to say to you guys. Like, bring me downtown and charge me. So all I'm going to do is bail right out, right? So they're like super hesitant about the whole shit. So we start to read over the charge paper, right? And I'm like, okay, they identified me as a black male that ran out onto the balcony, right? But then they say that they saw a human arm sticking out the window and throwing shit, a gray object, and weed in baggies, right? They described the pistol as a gray object. They didn't say they saw a firearm, right? So they already identified me as a black male, but now you're saying you see a human arm sticking out the window. I said, can you positively identify that arm as mine? And his face just turned beet red. And they knew right away, this is going to be a problem. This guy is aggressive and he's intelligent and he's not scared of us, even though we just framed this guy. But here's the catch, you guys. I couldn't acknowledge that they framed me. I couldn't say, you brought that weed back in. I threw it outside. I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't acknowledge what they did, right? So it was a tricky scenario where I couldn't confront them about stashing the drugs on me without acknowledging the drugs, right? So I'm just like, man, I don't got shit to say to you. Take me downtown, right? And they're still just all desperate. So I say, listen, man. I said, you know who I know, or you wouldn't fucking be here. I'm not telling you anything about anybody from behind these walls. You give me my money, my car, and my jewelry, and I might think about helping you, right? So they gave me my jewelry and my car back, but kept the money. They framed me for the money. They weren't giving that shit back, right? So they release me, right? I go right to the impound lot to get my vehicle, right? And they gave me my keys. So I'm not thinking anything about I have to pay the impound lot. I'm not thinking nothing. I'm not really thinking clearly, though, to be honest with y'all. So I go to the impound lot wearing a paper jumpsuit, looking like I just broke out of jail, right? And I'm just thinking I can just go there and just get my car, start it, and drive off the lot. The lot's like open, right? I'm just not thinking clearly for some reason, you guys. And so when I go to the impound lot, I walk onto the impound lot and start walking towards my car, and all of a sudden somebody's like, hey, what the fuck are you doing, Dad? And they start talking all this shit, right? I'm like, what, motherfucker? I turn around, or no, he walks up behind me talking shit and punched me in the back of the head, and it didn't even hurt, man. So, dude, there's like 4 or 5 people, tow truck drivers, impound lot workers, whatever. There's like 4 or 5 people, and I've trespassed onto the lot, not really knowing that I'm trespassing. I just did, you know what I'm saying? Trespassed onto the lot. They got to tripping. I look like I just broke out of jail, right? Wearing a paper jumpsuit. All of a sudden, they all start talking shit. I'm like, whatever, man. Dude's like, I'm calling the cops. I said, go ahead. Fucking go ahead. Call the cops. I don't give a fuck. All of a sudden, dude punches me in the back of the head. I'm like, it doesn't even hurt. It don't even hurt. I turn around and look at him, and I'm like, and just punch him in the face. Mind you, I'm not wearing any shoes, you guys. I was took to jail in my boxers. Okay? No shoes. So I punched this guy with no shoes on, standing on gravel. So I can't really plant my feet and just knock him out. One punch, you're getting knocked out, right? So I turn around, I punch the guy, and I don't even punch him that hard, but he folds. He's like, and he just stands there. I'm like, what the And then, so another dude starts talking shit, like, oh, you want to fucking fight somebody? You fucking, I'm like, oh, man. I tiptoe up to this guy on gravel. I start chin checking him, but I'm not punching him hard. I'm like, just tapping him like you should never punch somebody that lightly, you guys. He folds. He starts like doing, he folds. I'm not even punching him hard. All of a sudden, somebody grabs my arm. Somebody grabs my other arm. And it was a wrap. All I felt was like all these slaps and punches on my head, right? Somebody grabbed my legs and they like pulled me out like where I was like horizontal. And then they dropped me on the ground and somebody was choking me. Somebody was stomping on my back. And then the big dude who was talking all the shit, who I walked up and started punching second, he ran up with steel toe boots on and just football kicked me right in the eye, y'all. It hit me so hard that I didn't even care anymore. I was done fighting. I didn't care about anything. Like, dude hit me in the head with one of those things that like a cop, that the cops have, where it's like a, not a slapstick, but it's like they flick it and the whole thing extends out. You know, like, well, it's like a metal rod, right? Now, mind you, there's 4 cameras, 5 cameras watching the whole lot. And this dude then walked up, punched me from behind first, and the other dude hit me with a pipe in the head, right? Just cowards, man. Just fucking cowards, right? So they successfully jumped me. None of them could fight. But once they were all mounted up together, and see, the dude that was with me, Tiny, he stopped fighting right away. There was 2 of us against like 5 or 6 of them, but my boy gave up right away, and then that put them all on me, right? So the police show up and arrest me for assault. They arrest me for assault, y'all. Even though I got hit in the head first, got hit in the head with a pipe, and was really just defending myself, I got arrested for assault. The police would not look at the cameras. Because if they looked at those cameras, they were going to have to arrest all them guys for second-degree assault. It didn't matter whether I pressed charges or any of that shit. In the state of Minnesota, the state will pick up the charges on shit like that. So even if I was like, man, I don't give a fuck, it doesn't matter. The cops still would have had to charge all 5 or 6 of those individuals with a second-degree assault, if not a first, right? So they just arrest me for 5th-degree assault. It's on my record. I'm so heated about that shit, man. Like, the next time that somebody tried to jump me, I stabbed him 17 times. Then I stabbed his boy 6 or 7 times. And I spared a 3rd person. But after that scenario, you guys, I ain't never got whooped like that. Never. And I'm never getting whooped like that ever again. That will not happen. You know what I'm saying? But them dudes almost killed me because I wouldn't stop fighting. I don't know how to quit. I don't know how to give up. I don't. Once he kicked me in the eye, I started feeling the sun. Put it like that. When he kicked me in the eye, it was like I could see the sun. But it was like everything was the sun. I can't explain it, but it must have been near death. You know, I think if I would have lost consciousness, I don't think I would have woke up. And I didn't care either. Once he kicked me in the eye, it was like being high as fuck on some kind of drug or something, y'all. Like, I didn't care anymore. I stopped fighting. I just didn't care anymore. You know? I never got hit that hard, man. I mean, it left like a permanent black eye for like years. Years, man. I would want to say you can still see it, but I don't think you can anymore, man. Like, that guy's lucky. That guy's lucky that I ain't just hunt him down and kill him. I'm surprised I didn't. I'm surprised I didn't just heal from that, show up at the tow yard, double barrel 12 gauge, both triggers to the forehead at the same damn time. Stumped him. That's what I should have done to him. I'm surprised I didn't. I just had so many other things going on in my life at the time. But the next motherfucker that tried to jump me almost got killed. He got stabbed 17 times, man. I didn't feel no remorse about it at all. I went home and I went to sleep. Did not fucking lose a fucking wink of sleep. I didn't care if this motherfucker was dead. I didn't care if he was alive. I just didn't care, man. That's the war with the natives. War with the natives happened shortly after me getting jumped at the tow yard. I fucking went crazy on them fools after that. Like, that was it. Nobody will ever get on me like that ever again, man. Like, it will not happen. I will kill before that happens again. I have no problem with self-defense. Even if it leads to a homicide, I have no issues with defending myself. None. And I never will. All right, y'all. There's going to have to be a part 5